Nicole, was there something special we were supposed to be doing today?
I don't think so, is there?
I don't know. I can't recall. Obviously, today is our TRON preview, and we are here for the 6 to 7 p.m. time slot. We're hoping to get a night ride on this ride, and based on the queue that I am seeing behind us right now, I think we might get that. I'm very excited. I've been looking forward to this ride, I think since I met Nicole probably 5 or 6 years ago, so it has been a long time talking about this ride. You will see a lot of B-roll, you will see a lot of footage, you will hear a lot of thoughts on this ride. I've been hearing certain things, but we're gonna give it to you straight from our mouths and what we personally think. So come tag along with us as we do our TRON preview here on March 8th at the Magic Kingdom. We are coming up to the infamous TRON seat that has been giving so many people troubles. We are going to check it out for ourselves, let you know what we think, but I'm guessing there's gotta be some way to manipulate these for bigger guests, but we will take a look and see what's going on over here. Now it might be a little loud, we just got done testing the test seats, and Nicole has about a 16 to 17 inch calf, and we talked to the cast member and they said there was 0 issues with it, so I don't know exactly the size of your calf that's gonna make it a little too big, but we had no issues there. I went ahead and sat on it. It felt decently comfortable. I guess we'll see what happens when we're actually on the ride. I've heard a few nightmare stories about your private regions, so we'll go ahead and see what's happening here, but we are getting close to checking in right behind us here. The music is blaring. I'm getting pretty hyped. It's gonna be a good ride. I'm really feeling this is going to be a very, very good ride. I know people are a little underwhelmed with it, but if you like TRON, I feel like it's gonna be hard to just like assume that it's not great. Team Blue users, here we go. We are entering the
TRON Lightcycle Run is a thrilling, high-speed roller coaster type ride.
It got warm in here though.
I'm already noticing there's no air.
We're heading into the digitizer. Do we go out this way? Where are we gonna go? I don't even know. Oh, I think I can see some lights. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Oh.
I wish I saw the movie.
I know Nicole hasn't seen the movie. I have. I've seen the movie a few times.
We watched part of it.
You did watch part of it.
Prepare to be digitized into the world of TRON.
Team Blue, welcome to the grid. Proceed to gates.
Oh my god. It's beautiful. Are you kidding me? This looks amazing. I don't know how much justice the camera is doing, but this looks so good. This is so well done. Oh my god, I love this. I hope this doesn't get too dirty. I can already see fingerprints, but this looks amazing. I wonder if a train comes through here. I'm not seeing any trains right now. All right, we are heading in to the locker section here. So if I'm not mistaken, these lockers operate the same as Velocicoaster. Let's do 208. I think you scan your card. Let's see. So I think you scan your pass here, and then it'll open up, and then it should open on the other side.
They're a nice size locker.
All right, 208. Let's see if it opens. No? Do you have to choose one that's not lit up?
Maybe.
209. No. 202.
Wait, pass.
Once the light starts glowing white, you can pull on the door.
Okay. I don't know. Let's try another one. Let's try 233. There you go.
That's the one that's lit up light blue to red. Oh, if it's dark, someone else is already do that one.
So we'll try it again. 232. This one worked. All right, there we go. Maybe those ones just didn't work. Yeah. All right, so yeah, you just kind of tap it. You saw that it lit up white, and there we go. All right, we're gonna get strapped up with the GoPro. We will show you what's happening here in just a second.
Prepare for Team Blue Lightcycle Run upload sequence. Remember, hold on, keep your head up, and face forward. Initiate in 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Caesars. A championship performance and victory for Team Blue. Watch your step as you dismount and exit. Be sure to collect your belongings.
We off. I gotta go around? I do. All right, you let out of the ride over here by Storybook Circus, so we are heading out right now, and we're gonna give you guys our thoughts on TRON Lightcycle Run here, but we do need to find some light and kind of get out of here just a little bit. But it is a little bizarre that you are let out right over here. You have the train right next to us, and then again, you're over here by like Storybook Circus. A little bizarre. I figured they should let you back out into Tomorrowland. Maybe they're doing this just for the previews, and that's kind of why this is the way that it is. So this might be a little bit longer. We're gonna review a little bit of everything when it pertains to TRON, the queue, the ride, the whole experience. So just prep for it. This is gonna be a little bit of a longer section here, but we'll try and keep it short, but there's a lot to talk about, brand new ride. So first and foremost, let's talk about the queue of TRON. I think the queue was amazing. Once you got inside, the outside you're kind of just like walking around, winding around. It's cool to be on the outside exterior as the cart passes by you.
It's almost dizzy to like keep watching the cart pass by. I noticed that after a while. I was like, well, I need to stop staring at it.
I thought for the preview, it went pretty quick. I feel like we got in.
I was surprised. I feel like there was no wait. It was just kind of like they let in like 15 of us, and then we just walked on through.
My favorite part was probably the one part where like you're like entering the grid kind of thing, and you're in that room.
What did they call it? Like the visualizer or something? The something-izer.
Yeah. Visualizer,
something where it's
something.
like you're like going into the game, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so you're entering into it, and it was cool because you're in like this room, and then all of a sudden you get the see-through pane of the panel there that's in front, and it like goes see-through. You see the track, and it's your first intro into the realness of the TRON queue, because you kind of walk through these tight rooms. There were like, I guess it's like 2 long hallways, and then you like turn the corner, you stop in there, and it's again very, very cool scenario. Just I thought that was awesome. And then just the queue from then on out, I thought was really well done. The colors, the theming of it. If you've seen TRON, awesome. If you haven't, it's still probably pretty cool.
It was. I just was like, is this from them? Is this this? Is this this? Is this that?
Yeah, so again, probably worth seeing the movie if you haven't. So that's kind of the queue scenario that we have there. Now going on to the ride and the
what
experience.
about the lockers? Can we stop there?
We can talk about the lockers.
Okay.
Let's talk about the lockers really quick.
I got a pro, I got a con.
Okay.
Loved the size.
Yes.
It was nice. It was like
Huge.
the Busch Garden SeaWorld lockers minus the $10.
Yep.
My backpack, his bag, the camera, popcorn bucket, it all fit great.
Yes.
The con is you don't know how to open them, and they almost seem frustrated that like you don't know how to open them.
Yep.
So there's like blue lockers and there's dark lockers, and apparently the blue ones are open, and you have to hold your card up to the locker until it blinks white. But we didn't know that.
Yeah.
So we're just like tapping our card in all the lockers, and
Yep.
nothing's opening for us.
So you guys should, I think I put that clip in already, and you'll see like as we're trying to open them and they just like weren't opening, and I was like, oh, maybe you go to the ones that are dark. So then I'm holding it up to the dark ones, and the lady comes running over and she's like, no, the one, they have to be lit up, and then once it lights up and then it goes white. And I was like, okay, well, I think we just tried like 2
They're
or
not
3 of
going
them.
white.
So they're not really directing you on how to use them. Maybe there was a sign that we missed as we were kind of just absorbing like the
Maybe.
cue. Now,
The ride.
let's get to the actual ride. So the ride experience, I think, was from the start was really cool. The way you load into the bikes, you kind of are in this like, I don't know, there's just a vibe to it. I liked the queue all the way up and then like getting on the bikes. It was really cool.
It reminded me of Guardians, like the walking down the middle and seeing it loading on both sides and being like directed one of which way.
Yes, so I would say the actual like entering onto the bikes was really cool. Then you'll see, obviously, like you come around that corner and then you kind of stop for a second and then it kind of counts you down and then you launch to the outside area that you see under the canopy. So from there, you kind of are whipped around the outside a little bit, and
It's a fast launch though. Like you,
it is.
you zoom.
I think out of all of the coasters on Disney property, that feels the fastest for the launch.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely.
So, you
like
know-
you really do just like launch.
You do, and I think like a lot of people are like, oh, the ride's kind of babyish or whatever, and I don't actually agree with that. I think that launch is quite intense. You feel really close to the ground. Anyone that's ridden Hagrid's understands it's that same type. Like on the motorbike, you feel like you're hugging the coaster, and it's really well done. So I would say the launch, very cool, very intense, and just the way that you kind of go on the outside, you launch up, it's fast. That is definitely the best part of the ride for the ride experience, not the queue and stuff, but for the ride experience, I would say that that's the best part. And then you kind of come up and then you go to the inside. And I think this is where a lot of people are starting to complain about this ride. You have the indoor section, and that is where you're getting a lot of breaks and you're like coming almost to a complete
Lot
stop.
of brake runs. Like it's like, is it stopping or is this part of the ride? Is it
Yes.
stopping or is this part of the ride?
And it's not super intense indoors. I'm not going to deny
No, it
that,
slows
but
down.
I mean, you're still kind of hugging the track enough, and the
And
way
I
you
feel
kind
like
of
the
maneuver.
curves are kind of deep. Like you feel like you're almost like leaning a little bit.
Yes. So I would say like, I think they're over exaggerating how babyish the indoors is. It's still fine. It's not anything super intense. Guardians is definitely more intense inside, but the whole ride's inside obviously. But like the whippiness of Guardians is more intense, but it's not bad. My biggest complaint is the visuals, which I was talking to you about. You can't really like understand the story, and the visuals seem actually a little old. The way you actually are going around the inside, and there are screens and things in there to kind of like play on. It reminded me a lot of Rock and Roller Coaster, where like Rock and Roller Coaster seems a little old and outdated inside, and like you see a lot of the track and whatever, and I almost feel like they need to cover that up a bit more. They need to like either
this
like
ride.
Yes, I think they need to make it like the track glow or something, because it's just like dark track inside.
Yeah.
So you're seeing the entire track and you're not really drawn to the screens. And I wish they would have drawn you to the screens, drawn you to the story as you're going
Yeah.
through, because it's so much slower inside. It's like, oh, here's this crazy intense launch, and then you come up and it's like, okay, now let's hear the story. And it's like, oh, I'm not really getting the story. And then the length. Because we
Very
stopped.
short.
Yes, and that was the other thing people are complaining about, is the length of the ride. You said it too. We stopped. You're like, oh, is that it? And like I had already heard that it's short. And as soon as we came in, I'm like, yeah, that's the end of it.
I think I was expecting to go outside one more time. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was like, I didn't realize that what we see was just that beginning portion.
Yeah.
So
Do be aware that if you are going on this ride, the outside portion that you see is the only outside portion that there is. It's the
in the
launch.
beginning, and then it's done.
Yes, and it's kind of like almost half of the ride, because it's not very long inside. It's probably about a third. So a third is outside, then the second, 2/3 is inside. But yes, that's the other thing, is it is a short ride. 100% is a short ride. I thought there was a line for the front row, and they were like, no, this is like the handicap or like the bucket seat row. And I mean, it was packed. And
It
it is
was
not
long.
on. It's not on every ride. It's not on
no,
every
it's
coaster.
every 3 or something. I thought we heard.
Yeah, so like if you're doing that, it is I mean, I feel like it's going to double your weight if you're doing that last row that you need
The
to go into the,
modified seating.
yes. So keep that in mind if that is something that you guys are doing. Finally, I do want to talk about the seats because we need to talk about it. It's not as bad as I think people are making it out to be. Ride the or check out the test seat for sure. I think that'll give you a good idea and a good indicator. I would say the other thing too would be that I wasn't uncomfortable at all until the end when we were sitting there, and then I was like, oh, like my shins kind of hurt a little bit. My private region was fine. I had heard a few people talking about like for men it can be a little uncomfortable. I wasn't getting that too much. You get a little kind of squished as you're waiting to get off. So I could see like maybe waiting around there, it could be a little uncomfortable. And then my chest a little bit, like stomach to chest where you lay flat. She complained about that too. She was like,
Almost
oh, like
my ribs.
yeah, I would say your ribs were kind of giving you a problem. So that would be the other thing to keep in mind. It's not super padded. There is some padding there, but it's not that padded.
No.
The seats overall aren't as crazy as people are making them out to be. Make sure you guys try the test seat, get a feel for it. I don't think you guys are gonna have too many problems. Again, there was a lot of people in the modified row, so maybe I'm just like not as informed as I should be. I think it's gonna be body dimensions more than just like one body size. Like I feel like it could be the height based on like the calf size, based on like, you know, how big your legs are. Like I think it's more than just like, oh, you have big calves. Yeah, either way, the seat is fine in my opinion. A little uncomfortable, but not the worst thing that I've ridden in. I've had Icebreaker, I feel like was worse than that, hands down. So that is our review there of Tron, you know, start to finish, queue, ride, seats, etc. Cool ride, love the ride. Definitely excited to go back. It's gonna be over a month before we can go back because it's
Sadly.
previews until then. And I think this ride will still be a hit. Is it going to be the best thing in the park? Probably not, but it's gonna be an enjoyable experience. The queue is definitely something you have to go experience. The ride is something you have to experience. It is intense at the start, and you can't discount that. It is an intense launch, so keep that in mind. But that is the review of the Tron ride. Now we need to go get back on the monorail and head back home. So we're going to head out of the park here. Thankfully, we are right by the front, so let's get out of here first. Well, that will now do it for us here at Magic Kingdom for our Tron preview. We have finished up taking the monorail. Now it's time to take the tram out of here and call it a night. But we do appreciate you guys hanging out with us today and tagging along as we went ahead and did our Tron preview. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps out a ton, and we will see you guys in the next video. Take care.